So there is another place that I want to really stop by while I'm spending some time here in Kyoto, and that's 8-Bit Autobacks. So it's pretty much right in the heart of the city, and it's a very new place. And if you are in Kyoto for tourist activities, make sure you come here and visit. Let's take a quick look of what this place is all about. They have really taken the whole concept of a super Autobacks and merged it with Tsutaya, of course. So as you come in, you get a Starbucks and you get an array of cars that I guess always change. Today there is a bunch of Hyundai Ioniq 5s. This is the N, just entered the Japan market, and Hyundai is really pushing hard here in Japan to get their electric cars to become popular and kind of have like a sporty image. And over here, as we go further down into the actual tuning area where you can see some products and some modified cars, we start off with this Fiat 500 that's been built by 8-Bit Kyoto Autobacks. So the entire floor here is subdivided in a lot of brands that you'll definitely recognize. Some you won't. Obviously there's a lot of brands that cater to import cars that some people may not be familiar. For example, here we have La Buono. These guys do a lot of Fiat 500 parts, and there's also some more famous brands around here. For example, Cox. This is actually a race shop close to Atsugi up in Kanto. They build some crazy race cars, but also have a performance lineup of products. Here's Asso International. Again, we are in the Fiat 500 area, so everything is catered to that car. And then we have the Vitz HKS parts. So this is HKS's lineup for import cars, starting off with the Abarth 595, a car that I tested and shot for Speed Hunters years ago when it finally reached market. They developed the car for a few years just to present and get their whole new lineup of Vitz parts out and on the market. Over here there's a bunch of suspension and wheels on display from Corso Tipo. Over here we have some, I guess, a collection of brands. There's a lot of even Italian stuff. BMC, a famous air filter manufacturer from Italy. They're really famous for their OTA, the air boxes that you can replace on some Italian cars like the Fiat 500. These are actually the guys that make the carbon air boxes for the 911 GT3 and GT3 RSs, and have done for many years. They even did the massive airbox in the E46 M3 CSL, if you remember that. So really famous company when it comes to intakes and filtering. A lot of customization options here if you're into your Abarths and Fiat 500s. And I guess sooner or later they'll start catering to the new one, the all-electric version that's just been imported and started selling in Japan. Let's keep moving. Over here we have a literal wall of exhausts, HKS filters, dampers and strut tower bars, lots of oils to choose from. This is literally a car guy's dreams. Here subdivided into STI, Nismo for Nissan, Mugen for Honda, and of course Mitsubishi Rally Art. Some more oil back here, and even the Valenti lineup of tail lights. Valenti is really famous in Japan. They kind of made their name in the vanning world, creating these kind of like very modern looking replacements for the stock OEM tail lights on some vans like the Noah, Voxy, Valfire, Alphard, Elgrand, you name it. They've pretty much catered to all cars, and they started doing cool stuff even for sports cars like the GR86. And yeah, they're doing really well in Japan. We see a bunch of their products on cars that we shoot for Tokyo Auto Salon. Let's keep walking. Some stuff for the Suzuki Jimny over here. Full grille conversion from Damned. Custom dampers, Yoshimura exhaust system for a Jimny. Now that is sick. Steering wheel section, which of course is mated to steering wheel bosses and horn buttons and all the voltage that goes along with that. Over here we have more grills for the Jimny, bunch of GR and TRD parts to kind of match the Nismo stuff on the other side. And there's just so much you can do with your cars here in Japan. You can customize and refine to your heart's content. There's just so much choice. So many brands doing so much. You get even to shoe section for people that want to have a better suited shoe or footwear for some track driving, helmets, padding for your bride seats, and little bits of pieces like fuses and electronics. So as you're hearing, they're actually calling a number. That's when you bring your car here to get some work done. You can sit downstairs at Starbucks, grab a coffee, and then when they call your number, you go pick up your car. So really neat kind of organization here at APIT. Check this out, they even have a GT2 supercharger for the BRZ and the GR86 HKS item. STI arms, just so much on display. Lots and lots of stock. Air boxes for WRXs, diffuser, stiffening bars of all sorts. As we go here, there's a bit of a Briddo seat display, including the Edrib, which is bride or Briddo written the other way around, and this is actually for European cars. You can see their latest lineup of products. And I guess some people have been here and asked if they can ship these to their country. Obviously that's a no. Over here, the selection of seats gets massively bigger with what looks like the entire Recaro lineup. Check this Carbon Beast out. Pro Racer RMS 2600, 500,000 yen. Wow. Right down to the more vintage stuff. Now that is super cool. Let's keep walking, see what else we can find. I do spot a couple of interesting Nissans down here. R35 GTR, Pure Edition. This is actually on sale. There you go, didn't even know that. They actually sell cars. This is on sale for 19.2 million yen. It's a used car, only 3,200 kilometers on the clock though. Basically brand new. Sitting next to a new generation Fairlady Z, the RZ34. Again, a used vehicle, 4,400 kilometers and selling for 7.5 million yen. This is the version ST with a 6-speed manual. Next to it, we have a Lexus IS 500. Again, a used car, 17,000 kilometers, almost 18,000, selling for 8.5. We have a sick Nissan K-Van here that's been lifted and customized. This is a brand new vehicle with only 12 kilometers on the clock. And that's actually a really popular thing right now, where, you know, off-road vehicles are kind of built to spec to make it look pretty cool with, you know, lifted suspension, off-road wheels and tires, and then sold as a complete package. There's a couple of shops in Yokohama that do that as well. And I think it's pretty much all being started by companies like Flex Auto and their whole lineup of old Land Cruisers. Let's continue here. More shoes. I guess it's also kind of like becoming a bit of a lifestyle type of shop. So you can sit down here, have your coffee, and over here there is the Tesla service center. I'm not sure what this is about, but I did see a bunch of Tesla chargers in the car park outside. We're going to take a look later on. But yeah, just to give you an idea of just the vastness of this space. And it's pretty incredible because, you know, this is Japan. We don't really have these massive spaces, you know, quite so often like you would have in the US, and it's just really nicely lit and laid out. We'll take a look at some of the books and magazines here before heading upstairs to the second floor. Let's take a look at what we have here. We have a bunch of 1/64th scale packages, car and books together, Initial D corner over here. A few Tomica, kind of limited edition collectible type packages, American stuff. And then we get into the Japanese car and bike section. And, you know, it's still surprising to me just how many car magazines have managed to survive in Japan. We have, of course, the Hyper Rev series here. These are always a must-have as they come out with the kind of newer volumes. And all the specialty magazines, or MOOCs, which are kind of like half magazines, half books, they call them MOOCs. This would be a kind of good example. A little bit better presentation, and all the specialty stuff. So much to see. This is Car Graphic Neoclassic, a kind of spin-off from the Car Graphic magazine, which is Japan's longest running magazine. And there's just so much kind of nerd out on. Right behind me, some t-shirts on sale, but especially this size. This side here is where Keiichi Tsuchiya has his little space, the King brand, with his very recognizable Hachiroku on sale here at APIT for 6,600 yen per t-shirt. And like I was saying, it is very much catered toward lifestyle as well as, you know, cars and tuning and just kind of nerding out on cars. Perfect place for tourists to come and pick up some really cool souvenirs for themselves. I didn't even see this. It was right next to the seat area. This is actually a Trust Complete Suzuki Swift Sport 6-speed manual, modified by Trust, 3.1 million yen, brand new car, 22 kilometers on the clock. So this is the 1.4 liter engine, has a few upgrades. It's got a cold air intake with a Gredi filter, feeding the little turbo, helping the 1.4 liter develop a little bit of oomph. Pretty sick. And these are super special because it's a really affordable way in Japan for kids into cars to kind of get into like the whole, you know, modifying scene, aftermarket, and of course track driving. Ton more magazines here. I'll show you a couple of my favorites. Of course, always take a look. Nostalgic Hero when you come to Japan. So much good information in there. MF Ghost, Initial D series again, and then a bit of a mix of stuff. Again, it really is catered towards tourists, I would say, because they have mixed quite a lot of stuff in here, and also stuff to keep kids happy. More cool Japanese mags here. Racing On is also a really cool one. It really always deserves having a flick through. Unfortunately, like a lot of magazines these days, it tends to get thinner and thinner, but it's always a good way to kind of learn about Japanese motorsport history, you know, the current things happening in Japan around racing, and just seeing really cool legendary cars. That's so cool. Nobody But Jimny right in front of the Jimny that's here for sale. And they have a lot of cool t-shirts here. That is sick. And that's even better. And that's even better still. Oh man, this is a dangerous place. Speaking of dangerous places, let's head over to the wheel section where one can really nerd out and have a look at some of the favorite wheels out there on the market today. You can kind of get an idea of what people like and are going for in Japan. Of course, you know, small cars like K cars are very, very popular in Japan, and the market really does cater to those smaller vehicles as well as, you know, the cars that we like, sports cars and so on. And then some luxury stuff here from WEDS, Work, Race, BBS and TWS, T37 SLs, Saga, BBS LMs, and some US two-piece wheels. Really cool to be seeing some Italian wheels as well. Check out these Ozzy Racing up here. And then again, as I was saying, it is very much catered to the market here in Japan. And another very popular car, of course, is the Hi-Ace and Caravan vans. These are what tradies, reps drive here in the country. So of course, people like to modify those as well. Here is something catered to import cars. So we have the OZ racing wheels we just saw, plus more local stuff and BBS RIDs. These are BBS Japan products, of course, and for a whole set, very expensive stuff. Over here is where you can actually take a look at the pit area where cars will get worked on. So say you come here, you buy, I don't know, a strap brace, a new set of wheels, or you're here for a tire change. Your car gets worked on out here, and you can go and wait downstairs. They have a specific waiting area downstairs with a bar, books, chairs, to kind of sit down and wait. Okay, this is pretty cool. Apparently they do a morning meet. Next one is at the end of the month. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in Malaysia on this particular weekend, but really cool to see that they do this stuff. I don't even know if a pit in Tokyo does that. I'll have to find out, but you know, in Tokyo we do have the Daikanyama Tea site that actually does morning meets once a month or so, usually themed. But really cool to see that it actually happens in Kyoto as well. So next step is to head upstairs and take a look at what's going on up there. And while we're here, we can get a bird's eye view of the main shop area we just took a look at. Damn, that's a lot of lights. Right, so up here, this is where stuff starts getting a little bit more technical, and you can really find your spare parts, starting off with a ton of bulbs, LED, filament, everything you ever need. Lots and lots of products to come and choose. You got your Japanese flares, of course, that are necessary to pass the shaken. They even have the electric version as well. I'm not sure if that's allowed for the shaken, but probably is. I guess that's why they sell them. Valve caps, gauges, miscellaneous tools. On this side, massive lineup of batteries. They even have like mirrors, so you can place this on your parking spot and make sure you actually see cars coming left or right before moving your car out. Lots of oils, oil filters, cleaning products. So a bit of everything to kind of do your own maintenance, or ask these guys here at A-Pit to do it for you. And as you can see here, as we're walking past, it's absolutely massive. Over here, more accessories, additional padding for seats for kids or shorter people that need a booster. Again, more cushions and pillows and whatnot on this side. Steering wheel covers. These are actually from Momo themselves. Let's see if we can find something very, very Japanese. Here we go. Snoopy steering wheel cover. This is as Japanese as you can get. They love Snoopy in Japan. Right, let's keep moving. Over here we go into the seat cover area and a ton of mats. 4 mats of every type, material. These are getting super popular here. So around the COVID time, camping became really, really popular, a big boom around that. So you'll see a lot of these places have a ton of products to support that type of lifestyle. As you can tell, they really do sell a bit of everything. And the accessories continue. So much to see here. And then we get to the usual accessories that you usually smell as soon as you come in. So these are like fragrances for the cabin. So much choice, it's incredible. Stuff that you can literally put on your cup holders and let them ooze a nice scent. Over here we have a few more cleaning products, more Garako, USB chargers, phone cables, phone holders, you name it, they have everything. How about a non-slip pad for your dashboard, electric LED lights for your floor to add a bit of mood, and even a cool Super Autobax little seat cover, towel set, sunscreen, and some cool stickers as well. That's another popular thing in Japan. Adding these extended mirror covers on top of your rearview mirror, just so you get more real estate when it comes to looking back into the cabin and of course outside through the window. And let's continue the tour of the second floor over on that section. So we're entering the kids bookstore area, and there's a nice lineup of Tomica diecasts. I don't see any of the premium stuff here. There is a Z GT500 race car, R34 GTR police car. We actually saw one the other day in Saitama. I couldn't believe it. Driving the other way down the Tohoku. Unfortunately, couldn't catch it in time. So a bunch of toys here, including some very strange Japanese cartoons. Yes, that is a Poku. On the 4th floor, but to actually get up to the roof, you gotta actually walk. Check this Land Cruiser out. So the cool thing about the roof area of A-Pit is that you have a bunch of wash bays that you can come and wash your car yourself. DIY washing area. Of course, in Japan, and especially cities like Kyoto, having enough space at your house to wash your own car is pretty rare. So this is the best option you have available. Let's walk around, see if we find anything interesting. All right, so I did find this Evo 5 here on some white NK wheels. For some reason it looks like it's been parked here for a while. I'm not sure if they rent out parking spaces here. Wouldn't surprise me. So past this Velfire is sister car to the Evo, again in white. Nice Impreza on some Advan racing wheels. Good to see a couple of rally cars out here in the open. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of the A-Pit Autobax here in Kyoto. I'm gonna head downstairs now and grab myself a coffee. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and check back soon for more, because I have a ton of these vlogs coming to the channel constantly. So thanks for the support, and make sure you check back soon for more.